This is a 5-frame mating nook that I did last year with some queens that I made. It has done fairly well. It had 3 5-frame medium boxes on top of it through the winter. I put a 4th box on it the latter part of February, first part of March, and strapped it. And where I had it placed, the wind or something had turned it over and knocked it down. It fell about 2 feet on its side. I have since strapped it back, moved it over to this location, a little more sturdier hive stand. I have gone through and looked through it. I have seen eggs. I've not seen the queen, but I think it's probably about time for me to move it into a 10-frame box, and that's what we're going to do today. Anyway, let's go take a look at it. Alright, here's the top of the 4th box, and it's pretty much empty of drawn comb that I had put on there. There's a few bees up in there working it. So this will be, I'll save that one for later. Looks like that most of the bees are on these 3 frames here. So we'll take this one out to minimize disruption. That's got a little bit of honey on that one left over. That one's just pretty much empty with no eggs on this one. Just set it back in there. This one's got mostly honey, or nectar rather. It's just nectar. So we'll scoot it over. Now this one's full of eggs and honey around the outer perimeter. I know you can't see any eggs in there, but there's a good number of bees in there. No eggs. I mean, I don't see a queen on this frame, but I do see eggs. No queen, but eggs. This was the outside frame, and it's just honey and pollen. Although there is an empty queen cup there. I'm going to put this one right here. I'll probably put this one with eggs next to it. Set this box and these 2 remaining frames aside for the moment. So far, very calm and gentle bees. And this has got mostly pollen and bee bread and nectar on it. I'm going to put it in the 2nd position next to those eggs. Just do this. There we go. A lot of capped worker brood and larvae in this frame. I'm going to take a moment. Well, we've got some We've got some capped brood here, larvae and eggs on the outside here. I'm going to look for the queen. Still, I don't see the queen on this one. Here. Oh yeah, this is just full of eggs. So this bottom box now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, has 7 frames of eggs, larvae, and brood. 2 frames of honey and pollen and bee bread. There's a mixture of honey in the rest of these, but mostly eggs and larvae. I've got 4 more frames left here in the bottom box. Still have not seen the queen. And still seems to be a very gentle hive. I've not smoked this hive at all. I'm really surprised. Well, I've got to stop for just a second and get my second empty box to put on here. This queen is eluding me so far. Either that or she's on one of these last 3 frames. Set this back in here and get me an empty box. I'll be right back. Alright, this is actually a brand new box. No propolis in this box at all. Alright, let's flip one more time. Put this one with eggs and brood right in the center. Come on, Miss Hide and Go Seek. Ah. 3 days ago when I came here, this old queen cup was loaded with the larva, and it's now cleaned out and empty. So they've torn that down. So evidently they like this queen well enough to not take off on her. Man, she is hiding, or every time I'm looking at a frame she's laying an egg, one or the other. Well, this hive still seems to be doing fairly well, even though it fell over a few weeks ago, probably about 2.5 weeks ago now. And the queen survived. I have seen some weird looking comb where she had laid some drone brood down, and it started to grow sideways because the hive was laying sideways for probably about 3 or 4 days before maybe even a week before I came back to find her, or before I came back and found the hive. No, I'm not seeing her. Okay, one more frame, and otherwise she's just hidden down in there somewhere. Sometimes they just elude you. They are hiders, hide and seek. Hide and seek. Oh, there she is right there. There she is right there. Can you see her? Yeah. Oh, there she is. You want to try to mark her, maybe. Sometimes I just pick them up, and sometimes I use this. So if this isn't going to work, I'll just pick her up here in just a second. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to mark her red just because she is a last year's queen. I got one bump in my head. Alright, now put a little bit of a mark on her. Maybe make it a little bit easier to find her. Just let her crawl out of there. Okay, so now what we'll do is put the rest of these frames in here that came off of the top hive that had nothing in it. Come on, girl. There. Alright, I did find the queen. She was in the very last box of the frame that I pulled out of the 5-frame nook. Got them all situated here. In the second box, I've got 4 frames of eggs, larvae, and brood. That's where I found the queen. She is, and I just left her in this box here.